end dump type or a hopper bottom. There's the occasional live bottom where it's got a belt that just very slowly carries the grain out the back. But otherwise, we're kind of in sugar beet country, so there's a lot of these because they dump sugar beets at piling sites or transfer sites, I think they call them. We always call them pilers, but you can't use a hopper bottom for that. Oh yeah, it's a pile. Grandpa wanted to know the moisture because he said the straw is really tough, and I could see that the straw is kind of green yet. I don't spray Roundup on my wheat before harvesting it, so it's typically, the straw typically doesn't dry down these days for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why. It just doesn't. But he said, well, keep going. We're down to like 25-ish acres. 20 to 25. I think we might get her tonight. Ooh. So we got the case hooked up to the Westfield 171. And normally I would be using the spreader in this bin. This is kind of my wheat bin, or because it doesn't leak. But the spreader don't work, so I don't use the spreader. I need to get that fixed. I just haven't called yet. Oh, this is a beautiful sight. I love harvest. Harvest is the best time of year. Again, that truck can probably take another, probably a full cart, and then one more combine dump after that, maybe. We'll see. See how things line out. Because there should be about 300 bushel storage left in that semi, and then 600 left. So 900, 500 in the cart. That's 1,400. That would be 14 acres at 100 bushel an acre, and I don't think this field is quite doing that. I don't know, I might just be able to sit in the cart for the rest of the time, and we'll worry about trucks later. Because I want to get this wheat put up, done. Get it in the bin. It's safer in the bin than it is in the field right now, because it's starting to, the heads are like tipped, And Grandpa always used to say that even if it looks dry, you don't combine till the heads are tipped. But now they're starting to do that thing where they point down even further. I wonder what he's doing. Is he gonna strike out or something? I don't know. I think he's turning around. I think he's scared of the hill. While I'm walking to the cart here, we're just about finished up. I wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm putting grain in bins, because typically I don't. Right now our elevator spring wheat price is like $5.19 a bushel. That's pretty low. I think up to this point in my farming career, the lowest I paid is either a low 5 or a high 4. I don't quite remember. I do remember the lowest I ever sold soybeans for was $8.18 a bushel. And we're headed that way awfully fast. So hopefully it slows down, but I'm putting grain in the bin in the hope that someone somewhere in the world needs it. Ooh, hot. So typically wheat harvest price isn't great. The last 4 years have been kind of an exception. It didn't make much sense for me to store the last 3 years anyway, to store much anyway, because the lines were relatively short and the interest was high enough that I would only make out if I stored it for a month or two. And our local elevator doesn't typically take wheat before the end of the year. So that's, it's kind of atypical for me. I never store soybeans. I don't intend on storing soybeans. They're kind of a pain to store, and the harvest price usually doesn't change much to an old crop price. By the time you get done paying your bank its interest on like an operating loan, it doesn't pencil. So I'd rather haul it to town right away. So I've only ever, if I do store, I've only stored wheat. I don't think I've ever stored a bushel of soybean. Well, I take it back. I stored, in 2018, I stored some. And I waited till like 2021 to sell them. And they stayed, and I made a good profit on those. But I sold just enough to pay my bills and stored the rest until the price got better. Oh, he's on the phone. His hands are moving. Almost done. Wow, crazy. 4 days. We had chance after chance of rain. I had to put everything away every single night because every single night it was supposed to rain and it never did. And now here we are. We're gonna finish up as long as everything holds together. God, it's standing nice. The straw looks good. The grain is nice and dry. Oh, it's just, I'm just tickled. I think I'll probably put the rest in the semi. Looks like the triaxle looks full enough. And then I can kind of do my final tally, I suppose. Figure out what goes where and what came from where. I don't think it ran 100 bushel. I don't think I hauled 5,200 bushels. But I think we got close. I wouldn't say 4,500 bushels or 4,600 bushels is out of the question. Good wheat. Overall, I'd say farm average, we probably, depending on what this field does, we probably made a mid-80, which is a good year. Hopefully, the beans hold tough, and we're supposed to get a shot of rain tonight. And that would probably be what we need to finish out the soybean growing season. They're in the pod fill stage now. They're past what they're gonna get hurt for bugs. So we are done spraying for the year. And I am so excited about that. I'm so happy to be done spraying for the year. I did get close to it, but the combine's moving on the very, well, I take that back. I've been lying this whole time. We're not done with wheat. I have a little 3-acre piece that will probably have to be done end of next week, maybe. I planted it a couple weeks later than everything else, so it was still awfully green and wet when we got there. So we'll just wait and let that dry down. I don't know, we'll see. That'll probably just go in the triaxle and go to town. But other than that, we are done with the bulk of wheat harvest. 3 acres left. 3. Oh well. We almost made her. But we'll get straw harvest done and probably go take a dive into that and see what it's at and go from there. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. I'm gonna start dumping trucks and start getting things cleaned up. Sounds like another neighbor just finished wheat today too, so it's a good day. But I'll have this to dump, I'll have half of a load in the semi to dump, and we're done for now. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.